All right, top of the morning, everyone. Johnny Dangerously here. Gonna try some live videos. Been playing around with it for a little bit. Seems pretty cool, so we'll see how it goes. It is 3:40 a.m. Eastern time. I'm in Central Time Zone right now, even though all my logs are done on East Coast time. So it makes it 2:40 a.m. Just leaving a coffee stop here. Got a fresh coffee. Try to keep you all entertained for the next 90 minutes or so here. Wait for the guy on my right to go. If he goes, come on. Not sure if the audio is good on this, so it's going to be a work in progress. Fine-tuning everything. I'll probably have to get some better microphones at some point if I continue to do the lives. I did a couple test videos. The audio didn't seem all that great. Come on, dude. What are you doing? Probably another guy trying to go under 5 miles an hour to keep his e-logs from going on. Oh, my God. Dude, what are you doing? Oh, my gosh. Here a lot because I get so much fuel here. I get free refills on my coffee. I like free coffee. So running down, it's going about 30 miles south of Indianapolis. So give you some background on me. I'm based out of Columbus, Ohio, near Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, so I'll drive to Illinois, pick up the bike, and then just do that up until Friday. Then I go back to Columbus after my deliveries in Indiana. To 136, 134 hour time frame, something like that. So there is a way I do it. I'll talk about logs, service, and stuff either later on or in a future video. But it's very, very busy, long work week. I do 200 miles a week, so with multiple stops and deliveries every day. So definitely a fast-paced, busy account that I work on. So, but happy Labor Day weekend right now. Based on the from what it usually is. So kind of not looking forward to what today has to offer. So today is Friday, so I would normally go home after I'm done making my deliveries today back to Columbus, Ohio. But I'm probably not going to head to Columbus. I'm going to head to stay near Indy or Chicago for the holiday. I have a lot of stomping grounds around there. It saves 5 to 6 hours worth of work on my week to not go back to Ohio. So I'm waiting by the time you hit hour 70 to 75, I can save 5 or 6 hours. It's an incredible amount of wear and tear I'm saving myself. So if you're joining live, this is like my first live video, so I'm not that used to it. I am driving down the highway, so I don't know if I can see comments, read comments. If there's comments on there, they're too small for me to see right now, so I'm trying to learn to get better with that in the future. Truck is governed at 65 miles an hour. I think it's like 65.8. So that's pretty much the fastest I can go unless I get a nice big downhill. But we'll see. Let's see what the next couple hours has to offer here. Starlink minis to try out to see if that would solve my massive amount of data issues. And that thing literally does not work while my vehicle's moving. So I'm gonna have to package that up and send it back. That was over $500 for this thing. Garbage, really. When I'm parked, I've literally only got that Starlink Mini to work for maybe 5 or 6 minutes in a row. So if you ever wonder why semi-trucks are very adamant about moving over when there's traffic on the shoulder, several reasons. First off, it's to keep the people that are on the shoulder safe, especially if it's dark out. You can't tell if someone's outside the vehicle. A lot of people die when they're pulled off on the shoulder. And amazingly, people get very complacent, thinking there's no way someone's going to hit me if I'm parked on the shoulder, and that could be furthest from the truth. So, if you ever are on the shoulder, definitely take great care of what's coming. If someone steps into my lane and I don't see it, and get hit, kind of on you, and you're dead anyway. So, what's the matter at that point? So, be careful if you're pulled off on the shoulder, especially after dark. When trucks move over, number one, to keep the people on the shoulder safe. If I blow a tire up going past you, and this actually hasn't happened before, and that tire hits you, you're going to be in bad shape. So, also, another main reason we move over is if you are driving behind me very closely, you're not going to be able to see that there's anything on that shoulder until it's right next to you. So, by moving over, trucks moving over, changing lanes, and it's on the shoulder, it opens up, a view of what's ahead to kind of let people know the hazard on the shoulder there. So, if you're ever riding close to a vehicle or a truck behind them, you would definitely not want to ride real close to that line. You want to ride closer to that zipper in the middle of the lane, just in case there's something on that shoulder that hits them. So if there's any comments on here, like I said, pretty new to this, can't really see what's going on right now. You obviously got to focus on driving. places, so on and so forth. But I will try to take a look at the comments when I make my deliveries. I do not unload my own trailer, so I usually have 30, 40 minutes at every stop to do paperwork and check on stuff. So we'll try to check out some of the comments and say hi or whatever. So.
almost 20 years now. I really like it. It's great money. And I'm glad I get to do this instead of
sitting in this stupid office, which I did for a number of years. It was fun until it wasn't. But this is a lot more fun and adventurous. Definitely love what I do. From Columbus, Ohio. Great city. Sorry if you're from Michigan. Been to Michigan. So rolling 65 southbound right now, in between Chicago and Indianapolis, heading to about 30 miles south of Indianapolis. I have 3 deliveries to make today, and then pretty much done again, done until Sunday morning. So at the end of my week right now, I've driven 2,700 miles so far this week, probably another 400 miles to go or so, and that's it for me. Thankfully, it'd be nice to have the holiday off, but not this one. day. Hopefully I'll have one of those. headed to Bloomington, Indiana. So it's my first delivery, 200 deliveries to make, and then looking to head to Chicago, take a day off. But we'll see. Make a decision at some point. So where are y'all at? What are you doing for the holiday? Traveling anywhere? Too into floor-loaded trailers, and you got to stick rollers in down the load. Pretty good money on those accounts, though. So I think Hogan was the one I was talking to about that not too long ago, actually. So. So as far as the signal goes, I actually just got this Starlink Mini that I thought was going to be the answer to all my data issues, and it was absolutely not. That thing did not work at all going down the highway. Literally just got it a week ago, and I'm going to be packing it up and sending it back. But I just signed up with T-Mobile for their huge experience beyond. I think it's a package. So this is the first live stream I've ever done, really, live YouTube live or whatever. So I'm kind of curious to try it out, see what it's like and everything. And yeah, the guy on the shoulder here. Pretty stupid to park in this particular spot. Very hard to get moving again without causing a fiasco. But yeah, so I'm not sure how the T-Mobile is going to work out yet. It seems to be pretty good so far. So I think I saw it reconnect once, like disconnect, reconnect once so far. About 20 minutes in or something right now. This route quite often, and it definitely is a lot more busy now for the time of day than it usually is. So I think the holiday traffic's going to suck a lot today. Hopefully by about noon or so. So not a bad thing. Goes. I ran over the road for a number of years, and I loved it. I'm not married. I don't have any kids, so it definitely makes it a lot easier to be out of town for extended periods. But I owned my own truck for probably about 4.5 years or so. I would not recommend buying your own truck nowadays. You can make so much money just working for someone. It's just ridiculous to risk a decent payday on going in your own stuff, having to break, and end up with nothing by the time you're done with it. So it served its purpose for me, though. A buddy of mine sold me one of his older trucks for not a lot of money when I was on the road. Man, I loved it. It was absolutely great. I love being on the road. All the places you get to see, fun and adventure, and it's a lot of work. I'm actually on a regional account right now, so I'm technically not even over the road right now. I want to go back over the road at some point here. I mean, I'd rather be doing that right now, but I am just getting paid so much ridiculous money on what I'm doing now. It's going to be hard for me to pull the plug on it, but I'm sure if I do enough live streams, they'll fire me anyways, so let them make that decision for me. Then I'll go back over the road. I think the material and this footage and creating content would be so much more interesting being on the road than what I'm doing right now. So let's see what happens. I'll probably get fired by noon today. I've been fired a lot. just way more physical work than I want to do. So definitely don't want to unload trailers and stuff. 47 years old now. My body's been busted up several times. Besides retail deliveries, have you ever been just done a line haul, like warehouse to warehouse stuff? Retail delivery is my least favorite. Delivering stores is, but there's decent money in it. That's obviously why I'm doing it right now. Over the road pays probably quite a bit less, but so much more fun. You get to see so much more. But the downside is you don't get to go home very often with those types of gigs. But I have friends up in Michigan who do like day cab stuff, go home every day, and my friends in Columbus that go home every day literally make 50% more than my friends in Michigan. So Columbus, Ohio, if you're going to do store deliveries and stuff like that, I mean, it's a great spot to be in for getting maximum pay for what you're doing. So I'm thinking maybe I'm going to keep up with, I do store deliveries. I don't want to say what account I do or whatever, because it would not go over well. in a sleeper truck. To Lafayette, Indiana right now. Yeah, it's pretty interesting here because they did major construction in the past few years over here, and just finished it towards the end of last summer. I think was the timeline on that. And the construction on this was absolutely horrible. I have some previous videos I put up on Facebook and YouTube. They're showing like where the bridge is that they redid, made up with the new asphalt and everything. And it's just, you know, if it's icy out and snowy out, you know, with that, I mean, it's not graded left to right. So you get bounced back and forth, left to right, front to back, like being in a big mixing bowl. So it looks like they're actually repaving and repairing everything now that they didn't do properly the first time, so at least they're getting it fixed though. This was an area 10, 12 years ago, well, it's probably about 12 to 14 years ago now, where they had a bridge pillar, like literally like shift, and they closed like a 45 or 50 mile section of 65 North for, I believe, a couple of months at least, until they repaired that bridge. So. See if the camera picks up any of the horrible grading and construction through this section here. They have repaired a lot of it so far, so very, very happy for that. Happy to get it done before ice and snow start hitting it again. Last winter was extremely challenging, so coming through this part. Bridge mod, brand new construction here. It shouldn't be that bad. So. So, what states do I hate driving in? Pretty much anything in the Northeast. People in Jersey, New York City, around those parts, Baltimore, horrible, horrible drivers. Incredibly just packed, jam-packed. You lose a lot of time. Your average mile per hour that you can travel in those parts, and even the speed limit in a lot of those parts is only 55 miles an hour, and it takes a toll on your 70-hour clock, especially if you're rolling over the road. Back when I did a lot of my over the road, they had electronic logs, but you could still cheat those e-logs to the point where I would come to a red light. I could technically go off duty, and it would stay off duty for a mile and a half, no matter how fast you went. And then when it clicked back over to driving, if I caught another red light within 60 seconds of going to driving, I could click it back to off duty, and it would just extend it off duty, and it'll show me anything on the driving line. So, but you can't do that anymore. So what's going to happen in the Northeast, in those states, is you're just going to burn through your hours quicker, have to do more restarts. If you're getting paid by the mile, you're going to make less money. And those parts probably equate out to a lot less money. So, but I like to go west, even up Minnesota, the Dakotas, Montana, I love it up there, beautiful part of the country. Even out in California, I love driving in California, even though speed limit's only 55. Obviously, I would never go 55, but just beautiful, beautiful out there. So it's great. I'd love to get to see California without having to pay the California taxes of living there for sure. Check out your previous message in a second here and see that you're home weekly. Driving during COVID. I was actually driving from Walmart at the time, so it was definitely one of the ones where, it was, what are they calling it, essential workers, essential drivers or whatever. A lot of industries shut down, a lot of drivers couldn't work during that period, but I absolutely loved driving during COVID. Because there's nobody else on the road. It was spectacular. Extremely weird, though, going through a major metropolitan area at like 8 in the morning and just have it be an absolute ghost town. It's very, very creepy. So, yeah, it was, I love driving during COVID. Obviously, I didn't love anything else about it. I was actually going to suggest, looking into going to drive for Walmart. I mean, it is a high-paying gig. I mean, you can make over $100,000 a year there easily. It's generally go out 5 days, home 2 days. it's actually not that bad of a gig. I don't think you touch any freight there. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact you don't touch any freight there. But you do have to drive some refrigerated trailers and make some refrigerated deliveries, and I always hated that. I hate reefer trailers. The different sections in them, you gotta take additional freight off to get to the frozen section from the cooler section. It's just a pain in the ass. But the number one thing with going to drive from Walmart is you gotta have a clean record, perfectly clean, no accidents, no incidents. Probably going back 2 or 3 years, and I think they require 24 months experience in the past 30 months. So if you've been doing this for 2 years, you've probably got enough time in there. But your record, you can't hit the poles in the parking lots. I mean, all that stuff counts for Walmart. I think they still make you go to Bentonville for a week or 2 for training or whatever too. But it's definitely something I would recommend you checking out. They have great time off. I mean, I think my first year there, and from day one too, I didn't have to be there for a year. Like from day one, I was getting like 23 paid days off a year. I got the same PTO bank for holidays, sick days, and vacation days, and like safety days every quarter. So you get like a safety bonus, but then you get an additional paid day off for a safety day as well. That goes in your PTO bank. So when you add all that stuff up, I think it comes out to like 23 days a year in your first year. And I was there for a total of, let's say 4.5 years or something. And I was getting almost 30 paid days off a year, I think. So, and it gets paid at your ADP too. So you're getting real pay, real vacation pay there. So, but it's pretty tedious. So fast moving if you want to make that top money. You basically got to work your 14-hour clock down to final minutes every single day and everything. So the least enjoyable driving job I ever had, but definitely one of the best paying company driving gigs I've ever had. So. So I'd gone from being an owner operator in 2012. I think I parked my truck in the fall of 2016 to go work for Walmart. So you got a lot of rules there. You can't cuss, can't swear, and it's not your typical driving job. So I went from like maximum freedom of being owner operator into that situation. So it was a bit of a culture shock for me. But well, back then there was just the drivers that were there, the best of the best, top notch. I mean, I have a lot of 30-year drivers there, even longer than that. Just exceptional people. Even the people in dispatch and management I had to work with. I mean, they're the best of the best. So, but it's a lot of work. Tough gig. Get paid for it though. So interesting commentary on how I just flashed this driver to come back over, because I don't usually do it to help the other driver out. I flash the driver and he's clear to come over because I have a whole long line of traffic behind him next to me. 9291 traffic hanging next to my truck longer than it needs to be. So as much as I do it to help him out, or I don't, it's just it's more than, you know, it's just me being selfish. It's definitely safer when I don't have conversations with me. So that's mainly what I'm doing. But if you're someone who drives a car, I recommend not ever flashing the truck driver over, ever using your bright lights. Sometimes I'm in the left lane and it's taking me a little while past the truck or car that's in my right lane, and the car will come up on me, flashing his brights behind me because he wants me to move out of the way. If there's someone who does that, you probably already know that you're going to spend an extra 15 minutes behind that truck, because I will absolutely slow down and block that highway for another 10 minutes. Don't ever flash your bright lights at me if you're in a car, because I'm blocking you in the left lane. I will ruin your day. FAFO. That's what I say to that. I wouldn't say it's not worth being an owner-operator in today's day and time. It's just a lot more difficult to make it more already can be as a company driver. Back when I went owner-operator in 2012, I forget how many mileage rate I was getting at that time. I think I was getting 41 cents a mile as a company driver, and then as an owner operator with the fuel surcharge. So I bought my truck with cash, had my title from day one, so I never had a truck payment, and I went from 41 cents a mile to making, with the fuel surcharge, like $1.35 a mile. Now you got to keep in mind that Navy was getting 6.5 miles to the gallon. I had a 2002 Freightliner Columbia that had a Caterpillar engine in it. Maybe 6.5 miles average per gallon. So if you do the math at like $4.30 a gallon on that, I mean you're paying 60 cents of that $1.35 right out the door for just for fuel. And then there's and that's leasing on